Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a good day, even though all this coronavirus stuff is going on. I hope you're staying safe. Hope you are staying healthy and you're being entertained, whether it's Netflix or playing a game or whatever. Just taking it easy if you're not able to work from home and you are quarantined or whatever. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're doing well. Please let me know your status down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys. Okay, so I want to take this opportunity just to talk about five things or five surprises so far in this NHL season. And I say so far because as I'm filming this, the NHL season hasn't technically been canceled yet, although I think that announcement's probably going to come in the next 4 to 6 weeks. I hope that doesn't happen, but I'm just not very optimistic about this season. So I kind of wanted to talk about some of the surprises so far here. And this is kind of a give and take situation because I'm only naming 5. I could probably name 10. And I'm hoping that after you hear my 5, you can take the time down below in the comment section and maybe tell me a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, or whatever. If you have just another one to contribute that maybe I missed or something, please contribute down below in the comment section. And because I think if a lot of people do that down in the comments and people can read each other's comments and be like, oh yeah, that's a really good point. That was a good surprise from this year. So here are my 5 surprises from the 2019-2020 NHL season. Number 1. The fall of PK Subban. It's kind of remarkable that PK Subban is on this list in a negative way because he was such a superstar stud defenseman in Montreal, and then he got moved to Nashville, and he still kind of had that same feel about him or same aura, but then it kind of started to decline a little bit. His weaknesses were really being shown in the spotlight, and I thought that he became worse defensively as his career moved on, which is the opposite of the majority of NHL players. When they enter the NHL as young kids, they're very defensively irresponsible, and they learn to become more responsible as their career progresses. Unfortunately, that's just not the case for PK Subban, and he declined in Nashville. Nashville did not see an opportunity to have him on the team any longer. They decided that they would part ways with him, and he was shipped off to the New Jersey Devils, where he is now as I'm filming this. And he didn't fit in well. Maybe not that he didn't fit in well, but he just didn't have that PK Subban shine, I guess. His production declined. He got worse defensively, in my opinion. He didn't have the supporting cast that he did elsewhere to kind of boost up his stats a little bit. And I feel like I think he's being paid $9 million. I feel like his salary expectations, or maybe not expectations, but he's not playing to the level that he's being paid at. I don't think PK Subban is a $9 million player this year, that last year, or maybe even the year before that. I think probably this year he's more like a $5 to $6 million player, and that might even be generous itself. And I know that he was in the trade rumors all this year about maybe going to another team. PK Subban is not that old. The fact that he's approaching his 4th potential team in 4 or 5 years is kind of ridiculous. I mean, that kind of tells you something about him, and I've heard that he has been a bit of a toxic player in dressing rooms. Obviously, I don't know that personally. I can just read what the actual sports reporters are saying on Twitter and on the news and stuff, and that is something that has been said. I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe he needs to find a home somewhere else. It didn't work out in Montreal, unfortunately. It didn't work out in Nashville. It's clearly not working out in New Jersey, in my opinion, and many others. So where in the NHL could PK Subban go? I don't know, but it's still a bit of a surprise for me. You saw the decline. You kind of knew it was happening, but I felt it was really dramatic this year. If you look at his stats, they're not great. He just had a dramatic fall, and that kind of surprised me, even though it was sort of expected. Number 2, Pasternak on fire. Okay, so maybe this wasn't exactly a surprise. However, I would not have predicted that Pasternak would have been this successful this year. Extremely consistent goal scoring, incredible power play, or play on the power play. Obviously, he has a supporting cast to help him and really bolster his stats a little bit. But from an individual perspective, Pasternak has been absolutely outstanding this year. He's been a wonderful surprise. We had a negative surprise with PK Subban. Now we have a positive surprise with Pasternak. I think Boston fans could not be happier. If you look at his contract specifically, value to contract or production to contract value is incredible. So big thumbs up to Pasternak this year. Number 3, the return of Kovalchuk. There's no doubt about it. Ilya Kovalchuk is 100% a veteran in the NHL these days. It's surprising he's actually even back in the NHL, in my opinion. We've talked about it over the years, whether he should even be allowed back in the NHL, considering he's technically being paid by, I think, 4 teams now, which is ridiculous. But it's kind of cool. Regardless of all that, it's cool to see Kovalchuk come back and have a bit of success, even if it was short-lived. Obviously, he was loved in Montreal, and he loved Montreal. He didn't play there long. Then he went off to Washington, and obviously the season got postponed as I'm filming this, so we don't really know the ending to the story of Kovalchuk. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he'll be back next year, whether it's with Montreal, Washington, or somewhere else. I think that he's probably earned his roster spot on a lot of teams based on his play within Montreal. He's not the same superstar that he was before. He'll never be that same superstar, but he's still there to mentor the young kids. He's still there to possibly quarterback the odd power play and just contribute on both ends of the ice. He's extremely physical and fast still. He's in incredible shape. And it's you can't get rid of his gifted hands. They'll always be there. So he'll always have a place, at least, I would say for the next 2 years, he'll always have a place somewhere in the NHL. If he's consistent, at least with his proven play in Montreal this year. If he can do that elsewhere, he'll shine. Number 4, the Pacific Division fail. It's really interesting to see different divisions kind of go in this breathing effect year to year. Sometimes the Atlantic will be really strong. Sometimes the Central will be really strong. And then for many years, the Pacific was it was the division. Like if you were in the Pacific and you were even average, man, you're out. Like you're not even close to a playoff spot. You need to be elite to be in the Pacific Division at the top. And this year, it's been the worst division. It's abysmal. It's terrible. I can't explain it, and I don't think anyone can. You have Vegas, which is underperforming. You have Edmonton, which is underperforming, but still doing pretty decently. You have Calgary, which is underperforming. There's so many teams in the Pacific, and I haven't even mentioned the California teams. They're at the bottom 3. They're supposed to be at the top 3. Usually, like that's what I'm used to, seeing those California teams up there in the top 3, and they're just not. It was a big surprise for me to see the fall of the Pacific Division this year. I don't think that this is going to be the new norm moving forward. I think this is maybe a bit of an abnormality. I think this is maybe just a little bit of a hiccup in history, and I think we'll see the California teams start their rise again and be dominant. But still a big surprise for me to see the Pacific Division struggle this much this year. Number 5, coaches being fired. Even though it's number 5 in this video, it doesn't mean it's 5th or my 5th surprise. It's probably my top surprise. Save the best for last. All the coaches being fired this year. It's unbelievable, the amount of coaches being fired. I could have never predicted this. I don't think anyone could. We had so few coaching changes or fires last season, and even the season before. This season, it's just like, it doesn't matter what you do. You could be successful and you'd still get fired, it seems. It's unbelievable. And there's teams who are not successful this year, and you could say, why didn't you fire him? Like, you could add more names to this list, which is unbelievable. It's remarkable. It's history breaking. I don't remember this amount of, I haven't looked into it, obviously, and I don't want to talk out of my butt, but in my memory, I don't remember this many coaches being fired. I still can't even believe it. Like, that's kind of the mode I'm in. That's kind of the mentality, the mindset that I'm in. I can't believe that this many coaches have been fired this year. I think that's a hiccup. I think we won't see something like that again for a long time. Obviously, teams don't want to go through this laundry cycle of coaches. Oh, he coached here 3 years ago, and then he went here, and then now he's with us. Like, teams don't want that. They want tenure. They want coaches to create a relationship with their lineup, with the staff, the owners, everything like that. So I think we'll see minimal coaching firings next year or next season, hopefully. But anyways, we'll see. That was the biggest surprise to me. So if I missed something, or if you thought that maybe Hey Neil, what about this? Like, do you think this is a surprise or something? Like, leave me your surprises down below in the comment section. If you want to do your top 5 and use some of mine, you can do that as well. But if you want to contribute something new, I'd really appreciate that. Obviously, I missed a couple. I could probably make a 10 or 15, like I said at the beginning of this video, but I left that to you to add some extras. So please do that down below in the comment section. I really appreciate your contributions. If you did like this video, please hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, the biggest help is to subscribe down below and click that little bell icon as well and select all so you get all the notifications every time I upload. All right, guys, hope you're having a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.